What did the wizarding world really think about slavery? Because for centuries, magical Britain relied on house elves, intelligent, emotional beings bound to servitude by powerful enchantments. So was that just tradition, or was it something far darker that wizards refused to see? If you enjoy exploring questions like this, from the world of Harry Potter to the Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones, then this is the channel for you. There should be a subscribe button somewhere on your screen. If that's your thing, tap it now. And let's dive deeper into the world of magic, myth, and meaning. Let's be clear, slavery existed at the very heart of wizarding society. It wasn't hidden, it wasn't illegal, it wasn't even shameful to most. The enslavement of house elves was so normalized that no one, not even Dumbledore, truly challenged it in their lifetime. In Goblet of Fire, Hermione's outrage at the treatment of house elves feels almost out of place. She says, "You know, house elves get a raw deal. It's slavery, that's what it is." And yet everyone around her laughs. Ron dismisses her. Even Hagrid says, "It's in their nature to look after humans, that's what they like." That tells you everything about the wizarding world's moral blindness. It wasn't cruelty, it was comfort. Historically, house elves were bound to families by ancient magic, contracts that predated the ministry itself. They served not for pay, but out of magical compulsion. Disobedience caused them physical pain. Freedom for most was a punishment, a mark of disgrace. In Chamber of Secrets, Dobby begs Harry not to save him, terrified that Master will be angry. And when he is finally freed, he's treated by others as an eccentric, a freak who's lost his place. That detail is what makes Rowling's world so unsettling. Even the enslaved believe they deserve it. Centuries of magical conditioning have made obedience not just expected, but beloved. Now, it would be easy to see that as fantasy exaggeration, but it isn't. In my opinion, Rowling was drawing a very direct line to real-world history, the way entire systems teach both the powerful and the powerless to accept inequality as natural. In the wizarding world, slavery isn't enforced by whips, it's enforced by spells, by tradition, and by silence. And perhaps the most damning thing is that nobody questions it. Even the Ministry of Magic had no laws banning house elf servitude. The Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures classified them as non-human sentient beings. Which sounds fair until you realize that by calling them non-human, they stripped them of rights altogether. The wizards defined the category and therefore defined morality. It's interesting, too, that freedom for elves wasn't just legal. It was symbolic. A master could grant it by giving the elf an item of clothing. That act, a sock, a glove, a hat, was so ancient that even the magic itself didn't question it anymore. When Dobby receives Harry's sock, it's treated like a joke. But that small moment says more about wizarding culture than most people notice. It took the most powerful kind of magic, compassion, to undo the simplest spell. And yet, change doesn't follow. After Dobby's death, the elves at Hogwarts still serve unpaid, still unseen. Hermione's campaign for SPEW, the Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare, fails miserably. Even Dumbledore, who sympathizes with her, does nothing to reform it. He admits, you can't set them free if they don't want to be free. That sounds wise, but it's actually one of the most chilling lines in the series. It's the exact logic every society uses to excuse injustice. They don't want freedom. But of course they don't. They've never known anything else. If you're enjoying this video so far, do give it a like. It really helps me keep making these and dive even deeper into the world of Harry Potter lore. So what was the wizarding world's official view on slavery? It was a paradox. They condemned Muggle cruelty, yet built their own civilization on it. The same Dumbledore who fought for Muggle-born rights kept house elves in his kitchen. The same ministry that prosecuted Death Eaters for blood crimes ignored centuries of magical bondage. And when Hermione tried to challenge it, she was told it was naive, that she didn't understand how things work. That's how systems defend themselves, by turning morality into manners. If we go deeper into history, even the founders of Hogwarts may have accepted it. Helga Hufflepuff is said to have brought house elves to Hogwarts to work in safety. Her intention was kind, but the result was still servitude. Even in refuge, they remained slaves. And that contradiction, Compassion inside cruelty is exactly what defines the wizarding world. For every Dobby, there are 1,000 elves who will never speak their own names. For every hero who fights for freedom, there are countless others who mistake obedience for peace. In Deathly Hallows, Dobby dies saving his friends, and Harry digs his grave by hand. It's one of the most human acts in the series, a wizard humbling himself before a creature his society ignored. That's the first and only time we see real equality. Not in laws, not in reforms, but in a moment of shared grief. It's Rowling's quiet message: real freedom doesn't come from magic. It comes from empathy. So what was the wizarding world's view on slavery? They accepted it, even celebrated it, because it kept their world comfortable. And in the end, that might be Rowling's harshest truth of all: that evil doesn't survive through violence alone, it survives through habit. And the moment comfort becomes more important than conscience, that's when we all become the masters in someone else's story. If you enjoyed that video, on screen now I answer, did Dumbledore manipulate Harry?